My mom accused me of seducing my stepfather and threw me out of the house. I kept hoping, though, that she would realize her mistake and accept me. But when our paths crossed again, things only got worse. My dad left the family before I was born, and since then, Mom did everything to find a new husband. To some extent, she was successful in her endeavors, and she found several rich, caring, and handsome guys. However, there was one problem. They all hated having a kid around. "You, Ray, I don't want to raise a child. I didn't sign up for this," I once heard a man named James saying. After that day, I never saw him with my mom again. I can never forget how sad my mom used to be after the breakups. Sometimes I used to feel that I was the biggest hindrance to her happiness. So after I graduated from high school, I enrolled in a university in a different city so she could live happily. One day, she called me and said that she'd finally found the man of her dreams. "I can't tell you how happy I am right now, Jade. I am finally married," she said on the phone. "His name is Edward, and he said he'd love you like his own daughter." I was really happy for my mom and congratulated her. "I hope you guys stay happy forever, Mom. That's all I want." "But that happiness is incomplete without you, Jade," she continued. "So next week, you're spending time with us. I planned a special dinner for the three of us. I've already talked to your principal, and he has permitted you." "That's great, Mom," I said cheerfully. "I can't wait to meet you and Edward." "You mean your stepfather?" Mom interrupted me. "Okay, Mom," I laughed. "My stepdad. Happy?" "Yes, see you soon, honey," she said, and disconnected the call. After I got off the call, I couldn't stop smiling. Finally, my mom was happy, and I wasn't a hindrance to her. Little did I know this happiness would be short-lived. The next week, I packed my bags and left for home. When I finally arrived, I was greeted by Mom and Edward. "Welcome home, honey," Edward said as he approached me. I smiled back at him. "Nice to meet you, Edward, and thank you for being there for my mom," I said. My mom took my bags and hugged me. "Thanks for joining us, sweetie. Now freshen up fast and come have dinner." 10 minutes later, I came down. I noticed them setting the table for dinner. They both looked really happy with each other. Soon, Edward saw me standing near the stairs and called, "Come fast, Jade. The food's getting cold." "Yeah, I'm coming," I replied and headed to the table. Edward slid a chair for me. "Be comfortable, and if you don't like something, feel free to let me know," he said with a smile. He is really a gentleman, Mom was right, I thought to myself. However, as time passed, my views about Edward changed completely. The reason? He soon began paying special attention to me, which I hated. It all started on social media. He began liking all my posts and making comments like, "Oh, you look really hot, Jade." But that wouldn't be the end of it. He would add some really nasty emojis after the text and make it look awful. Yes, you are correct. Edward seemed like a pervert, and that's why I started hating him. However, I didn't tell my mom about it because I was planning on exposing him. But one day, he did something that dashed all my hopes. I was in the kitchen looking for some snacks. As I grabbed a packet of chips and was about to leave, I saw Edward behind me. "You look really hot in those shorts, Jade," he told me. "You should wear them often." "You're really pathetic, Edward," I told him angrily. "One day I'll expose you. Just wait," Edward smirked. "We'll see to that, honey. Anyway, since you have some free time tonight, let's meet in your room," he said, and grabbed my waist. Soon, he started forcing himself on me. Luckily, my mom came into the kitchen at that point. I was really happy, and I thought she would finally realize that Edward was the wrong man for her. But instead of supporting me, she lashed out. "Pack your bags and leave Jade, right now." I was shocked. "Mom, what are you even saying?" "I don't want you to see you here, Jade. I can't believe you're trying cheap tricks like these to seduce your dad. I mean, just look at your shorts. They're enough to provoke any man." My eyes welled up with tears. "Mom, you're wrong. He was the one who was trying to force himself on me. Do you even know?" Before I could finish, she cut me off. "I don't want to listen to anything, and I'm not paying your university fees anymore. If you stay on the roads, you'll understand how horrible it feels to deceive someone." With that, she threw me out on the streets. I didn't have a single penny or a place to return to, so I began working several jobs to feed myself. 7 years later, though, all the hard work paid off. Despite the lack of support, I became a successful businesswoman. During my struggling days, I had worked at a cosmetics store where I handled several customers and learned about the products. That knowledge helped me a lot. and I started saving money to start a new business. It took some time for me to figure everything out, but it all worked out in the end, and I now own a huge cosmetic business. However, there wasn't a single day when I didn't miss my mom. I wished she'd meet me, and one day it finally happened. She came to my office. "Mom, you're here. I'm so happy," I said as I hugged her. "Well, Jade, I'm happy to see you too, but I'm here about my debt," she said. "I can't believe you realized your mistake, Mom. I'm so happy," I exclaimed cheerfully. Mom gave me a weird look. "Well, Jade, I believe you misunderstood me. There's nothing I owe you. In fact, it's you who owes me money. You wouldn't be this successful if I didn't kick you out." "Mom." "Yes, Jade, that's right. Now give me a check fast. I require funds to get your stepfather out of prison. His firm failed and his partner sued him for cheating," she added. I looked at her angrily and called the security guards. "Please throw this woman out of the building and never let her come here again," I ordered them. Honestly, I didn't want to do that to her. She was my mother after all. But nobody, I repeat, nobody deserves to be treated the way my mom treated me for her selfish motive. I mean, after she met Edward, she had changed completely. Did she ever love me, or was she just supporting me because she didn't want to be left alone? I am still wondering. What can we learn from this story? Family members can be toxic too. The way Jade's mom treated her because of a man wasn't right at all. Trust is important in every relationship. Jade was devastated when her mom didn't trust her. No child deserves to go through that.